Hello and welcome to the Kennedy Shipyard Chronicles. Will this thing finally begin to resemble a control panel today, you say? Glad you asked. Okay, so full disclosure here. I've been thinking about building this console for about 2 years now, and originally it was just going to be some kind of a tabletop prop, not the full console. Back then, I used the McMaster blueprints for rough measurements of lengths and angles, but hadn't really put anything together yet. When I finally decided to build the deck and the vertical supports, they were as accurate as I could make them. Well, that's how this happened. Now, I didn't want to waste more time, more sweat, and more importantly, more money on redoing what I'd already done, especially when it was just going to be painted over anyway. So I took some time to add some carefully cut pieces to fill in the error of my earlier ways. This one was especially tricky to get such an accurate fit. Since nail holes and blemishes in the wood have to be filled and sanded anyway, these little gaps really won't matter. The overall arc of the control panel shapes is closer to the McMaster blueprints than what's been documented by William Smith on his website, TOSgraphics.com. The placement of the intercom, the record reader slot, and the record holder are per the McMaster print. And when the time comes to build and install the scanner hood, that'll be per the same print as well. To make everything sturdy, I use 2x2s as the inside supports for the consoles and the display banks. I actually made the display banks out of 5mm revolutionary ply by Patriot Products that can be found at Lowe's. It's a thin, flexible plywood product that's easy to work with and has an awesome finish, as you see. Since the displays will be supported from below on the back of the panel and should be fairly light, I thought this would make a great option. I'll have to build one of those displays soon to kind of experiment a little bit and see how it works out. Now it's starting to look familiar. Well, if you've made it all the way through the end of these videos, I hope you've enjoyed them enough to give them a like and maybe even subscribe, because that'll just help this channel to grow. I'm not getting anything out of these videos except for sharing my love for the original Star Trek, the best Trek, especially with younger people who may have only been exposed to the more recent knockoffs. For instance, I have a niece that's 15, and we've watched about 10 episodes together. She seems to really enjoy it, but of course, that's because we discuss the story, the acting, the history of the 1960s when it was filmed, and some behind-the-scenes trivia, things like that. So the next thing I'd like to install are the lower kick panels, just to make everything more sturdy. Now, how am I going to do that?